Hi guys, welcome back to the Volvo 244. The last time I spoke about it, mentioned that it was doing well. It's been a year since I've actually had it on the road now, but time has actually come to do a few more jobs on it. One, general service and give it a full check over to make sure everything's fine. But the major thing now is unfortunately the clutch. It still drives alright, but it is starting to slip more. It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know what your problem is.
Or when you're trying to set off from junctions. So I'm off on holiday for the next 2 weeks because I was meant to be going to the IMM, but of course that's all been cancelled now. So I'm going to make the most of this time, take the gearbox out, replace the clutch, replace the rear main seal, and do an oil change on the gearbox and clean the filter. Just preventative maintenance on it really. So yeah, join me on the adventures. Right, so what's required of this job? So, not that you can see it very well, but remove the starter, remove the clutch slave, undo all the bolts around bell housing inside the car, which I've already done. Remove all the stuff around the gear stick, so that's easy to drop out, nothing attached here. Disconnected the overdrive from the gear stick itself. Disconnect the battery, of course. Underneath now. Looking underneath, got all the bolts on the prop shaft, the speedo cable, the gearbox support, and I believe on the engine. If I get it in here. Not from this side anyway. Got the bolts underneath it, and then theoretically it should just pull out. There we go, the prop shaft has been removed. Interesting thing to note is the nuts are either what, a ½ inch or 13, and the actual head of the bolts are 11, so that made it interesting, but easy enough to do. Good thing to have is a little ratchet spanner. That made my life so much easier. But now I'm gonna get a brew because it's really hot out here already, and then come back once I've had a brew, and most probably look at removing the starter bolts and things like that. Right, bringing you back in. Very difficult to find somewhere decent for you to be put time-lapse wise, but I've been starting to undo the bell housing bolts, and the next thing I had to do was disconnect the slave cylinder so I can get up and undo one of the starter motor bolts, and in removing the slave cylinder this appeared. So all this came out of, you can see, inside of here. So that's all clutch fluid. So what's quite amazing is that seal on the clutch slave was actually really good, because it held all that fluid in and meant the clutch kept working. But yeah, so that's definitely failed. So I'll get one of those ordered, a new flexi line as well, and yeah, keep seeing what I can get off this and go from there. I'm glad it's not lowered car, because it means I can work under it with no jack and no axle stands. Right, so I've emptied the oil from the box and it looks alright. It's a bit sparkly, but you know, I'm not surprised. Well, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse of me getting the box out. It's definitely not easy on your own, but it's done now. It looks like there is oil in there, but I'll find out more when I take the flywheel out. But the biggest sign of it is, look at this. There's definitely oil in there, and there's nothing left of this. So, yeah, definitely got oil in there. So tomorrow, take the flywheel off and see what we find. Actually, before we go, I've just took the release bearing off because. But I'm sure that there should be a ball, because it looks like it's a thread, and if you look on the back of the arm, I definitely think there should be some sort of ball there. Oh, yeah, I think that'll come out, but interesting. Well, it's time to remove the clutch from flywheel, so hopefully you can see it okay there. Not much, well, there is space, but not a lot. But I've given it a quick degrease yesterday when I packed up, but the plan is take the Flywheel off today, and then it's going to be day cleaning up the gearbox and the engine bay, well, the engine around all this, just to make it a lot easier to put back in. As it stands, everything is covered in thick grease, so it's not a very nice working area. But yeah, let's start remove the stuff. Everything's a hammer if you use it incorrectly. That one cracked. That one's fine. That one's rounded. Try again later for that one. Right, we're back round to the start. So let's remove all these. And then work on the one that's slightly rounded. And I'm already covered in grease. Well, I guess if you're still watching me, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm sure Mark will appreciate it. And maybe send Mark some hobnobs, because we'd both appreciate that. That's the real one. That's all hurt, apart from this one. That'll come out. Right, disaster. That one that I couldn't undo is rounded, but luckily it's just the one. So I've bent up the pressure plate so I can get access to the flywheel bolts. So the plan now is actually undo all the flywheel bolts because I've got access to them, and then bring it out and inspect it fully and see what things look like. And then, of course, when it's off the car, it's going to be a lot easier for me to fix that, get that rounded bolt out. So yeah, I'll bring you back in once these are out because there's not much space to show this. Right, it's off. I see at the top that oil's leaked in the past, and it looks like the rear main has been slightly leaking, but yeah, I'll change it anyway and clean all this up so it's all nice. The flywheel's off, but I'll bring it out from under the car and go over that properly. Right, time for the, I guess, bad news. Well, start with good news. Got this out using, yeah, keep wiggling it until it falls off. But looking at this, hopefully you can see it on the camera, but there's a nice score on the pressure plate side, and if we correspond it here, you can see it's gone actually through to the rivets, but unfortunately it's also started to do it on the flywheel side. So you look on the flywheel, you can see it's got grease on it and stuff like that, and the heat marks, but I might actually be okay with this. Give it a clean back because there's not actually a lip on it too much, so if I give it a good clean back, get a bit of like emery cloth on it to try and get rid of the mirror finish, and we could be good to go. The only thing I need to do is, I don't think the clutch kit came with new hardware, so find a replacement for this because that's not being used again. We'll go from there. I might also need to look at my wheel bearings. Oh, well, that just made it worse. It looks like grease is coming out the centre. You got it at the top as well. Right, cleaned up inside the bell housing. It's not perfect, but it's a lot nicer than it was now. I'm going to now print out a clutch alignment tool and a tool for pressing the release bearing, the rear main oil seal. But yeah, cleaned up all around in here as well a bit, just to make it a bit nicer when I'm working on it. But yeah, I'll just go to the gearbox now, show you that one. Here's the gearbox. Cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it's much nicer in here now for working on it. There's no grease, debris anywhere. Upside down at the moment. On the, I think it's on all the overdrives, you've got this here, underneath here is a magnet and a like wire mesh filter. So I've taken this off and basically clean all that out. There was nothing in it at all, no metal shavings, and I found the ball that was missing from in here. It looks like, because it had been broken a while, because there's a piece that was broken off. So I think basically you're meant to tighten it up in there and then you screw that into it. Obviously it's broken at some point, but yeah, it's alright to reuse now. I just need to cut the head off, bolt it in there and then tighten it all up, and it should be good to go again. So yeah, I'm going to go sort out some printing to make my life easier. So I was very fortunate to have a successful print. Those that may have been keeping an eye on it, I didn't actually set any supports accidentally, so that meant this almost failed, but somehow it worked. So this tool is for pushing in the rear main seal, which, as you can see, that will go on top like that, and it'll push it in the correct depth as well. And this is a clutch alignment tool, so that will go through that into the crank and line everything up easier. I've also, here's the original clutch, did a bit of sanding here and there's definitely a lip there, but luckily I had this one in the shed, so I just basically took all the surface rust off it. I'm going to use that one instead because that's really good condition. Place your bets now to how easy this is actually going to be. So let's start by removing the old one. Here we go. So yes, pops out like so. There you go. One rear main seal removed, and we just turn my torch on if I can. Torch. There you go. See the back of the crank, so what I need to do now is fit the new one. Oh well, you've gone flying somewhere. Right, hopefully you'll stay there. So I've just pushed it round. Get it started slightly. Then, ooh, not knocking everything off. This on here. You can see it's pushing it in nicely. I think that's nearly home now. Yep. And that's because of that little lip on the end. That's gone in perfectly. Now, camera out, torch. Yep, that's perfectly all the way around it. So, one nice new rear main seal fitted. I can tell you now, that was very easy with that tool. Well worth printing. On to the flywheel next. It's time for the difficult job. Mainly because I'm on my own, and secondly, this flywheel's heavy. So, I might get very lucky. Could I be very lucky? Oh. Well, I never. I thought that was going to be very difficult. But apparently not. Everything's gone in perfect. Well, I've said it now, haven't I? I've gone in perfectly. But let's just turn that down. Right, there we go. That's not overdrive up. Where is it now? Here we go. So I need this. Not my torque wrench. The torque wrench is already set at the correct settings, so it's just about locking it in place and tightening it. It's definitely going to be easier said than done on my own, but it's doable. It's doable. Come on. Definitely wish I had a tool to lock it. Oh. Right, there we go. That's the flywheel in. Whew. screwdriver ended up being better than the pry bar, but I'll be honest and say if I ever do it again, I'll probably make a tool that I can use the bell housing bolts in, and that'll lock it in place. But I don't expect to be doing it again like this. Well, at least I hope not. But yeah. Now let me go and get some brake and clutch cleaner to clean the flywheel off my greasy paws, and then we'll start putting the pressure plate and things on. Get it cleaned out. Check the flywheel. No, sorry, check the clutch plate. Look for the one that says flywheel side. There we go. It's that way around. Put the alignment tool in. Magic. That's what it should be. Now, same with the pressure plate. Let's give that a quick clean. Put that way. Pick this up and ooh, don't drop it. Yep, so all the tabs are in place. See on there. One at the top, and that. Just right. Right, so the reason it won't go in fully is because it's got pressure on the plate. So now, wherever I've put them in my pockets, let's put the bolts in. The flywheel I had as well had the replacement one that I needed for the one that was rounded, so that was a plus. These have been set on a torque wrench as well. From what I found out, they should be about 25 Newton meters. So that's what my torque wrench is set at. Just need to go around and tighten it. That's what. That's all of it. Why am I doing that when I could just do this? See? There we go, everything's tight. So now you just remove the alignment tool. There you go, that's one clutch and flywheel in place. Just need to, I want to go get a brew now before the hard work of refitting the gearbox. Right, got to apologise here. I made a bit of a mistake and didn't actually clear my memory card. So yeah, the gearbox is now back in. I think the last thing you saw me do was the flywheel and bolt that up. The gearbox is now all back in, all bolted up, prop shaft. I thought it was on a time lapse for most of it. It wasn't. And yeah, it's also fought me quite a bit with things being broken, needing to be replaced and stuff like that. However, we've got the gear linkage all back in. One thing I can tell you straight away is it's a lot quieter. Like, I've still not even put the gear stick gator on yet, and yet there's no noise at all, like rotational noise. I didn't realise how bad the release bearing was and how much noise actually came in. But I can now put the clutch in, goes in reverse with no crunch, and we start moving back. Put it in first, go forward, put it in fourth, overdrive comes on. So yeah, all in all, it's been a success. The reverse lights come on, so I've put everything back together correctly, and it's so much quieter. Still got jobs to do. Still got to do the track rod ends. I made a start on that while I was waiting for more parts for the gearbox. However, once I'd started that, I realised the boots that I'd got weren't actually the ones for the car, so I had to order a replacement set of steering rack boots. I've got the wheel bearings ordered, just in case I need to replace the wheel bearings. But all in all, everything gearbox related is back in. It's got 2.5 litres of oil in it, which, if I'm honest, surprised me, but it is an overdrive one, so I guess that's why it's got 2.5 litres. So yeah, all in all, I need to go and have a shower and clean off because I'm covered in ATF and whatever else from under the car. But yeah, gearbox, I'll give it a proper test once the track rod ends have been done. That's the next thing. So I'll bring you back once the track rod ends are done, which will be tomorrow for me. Right, it's done. So I've now got a mess in the car still, but everything's done in here. New clutch, release bearing, etc. Gearbox has been serviced. It's got new inner and outer track rods on it now. Just need to get it tracked up, and that's done. What else? Oh yeah, the wheel bearings, the grease on the outside was nothing to worry about. In spring I adjusted the wheel bearings anyway, because the ones that you can tighten up and adjust. So I re-greased them then, but obviously I put a bit too much in, and it's just, you could see where it seeped out the cap. But either way, I took the cap off, checked them, there's nothing wrong with them. The only thing I haven't managed to do is do the exhaust welding. Just the weather's turned now. I need the car in a few weekends, so I'm not going to, and I'm back at work next week, so I'm not going to try and start it and find out I need something else. But the main thing is now I've got a working clutch, steering is fine, just get it tracked, and that's it. The next thing for me to do really is get the car cleaned. I think I'm actually going to get a professional to do it, mainly because I don't have the kit to clean the interior, so I don't have a wet vac, steam cleaner or anything like that, and it could really do with a proper clean in here. You can tell by the headliner, I've not given it a clean since I bought it, and all the door cards are full of dirt and grease. The passenger seat is one of the worst ones. Obviously it was a smoker's car, because I can tell by that, but obviously there were also somebody that got into the car dirty, because there's a lot of dirty handprints on that seat, and you can see where they'd have done it, and that was there when I bought the car. Same with the door cards and armrests, they're really well worn, so I think getting somebody in to give it a good clean will make a massive difference to it. Don't know when that'll be. Well, probably when I don't need the car again, and I'll find somewhere local that can do it. Yeah, so thanks for joining me on this adventure. Sorry that not everything was filmed, but hopefully you enjoyed my struggles of removing the box, getting it working and things like that. So yeah, the car's ready now for many years to come. The only thing I'm going to do, most probably towards autumn, is cam belt and change the coolant. But yeah, you've seen us do that before. So yeah. Thanks very much for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe.